Hello everyone, my name is Rosangela. I'm Brazilian and I live in Brazil. I'm here today to let you know about what's happening here in Brazil. Today is February 23rd and this is the current situation in Brazil after a horrendous thing done by President Lula and his friends in last January 9th when they ordered the federal police to arrest all the people who remained camping in front of the military base in Brasilia. Brasilia is the capital of Brazil, Brazil's capital. They were there protesting against election results and crying out for military help. Around 1,700 people were withheld without prior proof as political prisoners, without knowing they were being arrested, convicted of the crime of attacking the Congress buildings the day before, known as January 8th. The sovereignty of our country is at risk. One of the ministers of the Supreme Court has been acting as if he were the king of the country. But the problem is that we have a democracy regime here. They do not respect the laws. The lawyers have been prohibited to do their jobs properly in defense of the prisoners, and many of them don't even have a lawyer to this day, 40 days after the arrest took place. That's very sad. We've been censored in social media whenever we mention the act of January 8th or the names of the politicians that were involved, that have been involved in this situation. We want the whole world to know about our resentment against all that is happening here. It's a very sad episode in our history. We're at the edge of having an authoritarian communist government, a dictatorship regime. There are a few people in the Congress in whom we can still trust. We cannot trust the Supreme Court, and we cannot trust the judicial system, which has failed in making the law come true. We have no freedom of speech anymore. They have started the control over social media. Thus, we can't openly and freely share about all the people who were taken in prison, convicted of the crime of fighting for their rights. Come on! They were accused of attacking the buildings without prior proofs. They were accused of attacking the buildings without prior proofs. Brazil's presidential election was rigged, and all that we have been asking for is a source code. So to prove the fairness of the elections, which has been denied to us by the Supreme Electoral Court. Do you have any idea why it's been denied to us? And that was the reason why all those patriots were in Brasilia for over 70 days, camping in front of the military base, culminating in the act of January 8th, the Walk for Freedom, when there also was an attack against the Congress building, not done by the patriots, but by a bunch of other people who had planned the attacks beforehand, ordered by God knows who, in an attempt to accuse the patriots later. And guess what? Lula's government has put the January 8th security camera images in secrecy. In secrecy. I'll say that again. In secrecy. Can you imagine why? Can anyone guess why they did that? Huh? Well, so after the attacks, the government decided to take everyone who were still camping in front of the military base into prison, even though they couldn't prove who were the real responsible for the attacks yet. I have friends who were there, and they did not take part in the vandalism, though they were arrested, just like the hundreds of other people. And they remain in prison to this day, 40 days after the event. There are over 900 people still in prison over 40 days after the attack, without prior proofs of them being responsible for the attacks, for the vandalism in the Congress buildings. Those people are workers. They have families to provide for. They're moms who left their children at home to go there and fight for a better future for them. They're mostly good people and have been treated as criminals and called terrorists by the government. Justice has not been made, and we have no one else to turn to for help but God. We want all the world to know that what they did here in Brazil was the greatest arrest of political prisoners all at once in the world's history. Around 1,700 people, including men, women, old people, children, people with serious diseases, were withheld in poor conditions. It was a really sad thing to watch. We want justice. It's been the worst human rights violation of our history, perhaps of the world. Please share this video until it reaches the Hague International Court of Justice. We need you now. Brazil needs you now. Thank you. God bless you.